All right. You ready?
I'm ready when you are.
I'm always ready. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Queerology, the colored side of queer things. I am joined today with the fabulous
Michaela Bay. I also go by Micky.
and the illustrious Blackwind. And we are going to be talking about...
We're going to be talking about what it's like to be a queer person of color in this day and age.
Yes. Warning, if you don't like what we have to say, you can take that shit outside. Controversy, there's gonna be some controversy. We coming for everybody.
No one is safe.
No, right? Ain't nobody safe.
Nobody's safe.
Safety.
This is a safe space. But nobody is safe, if that makes sense to anybody.
Safety is for car seats.
Safety is for car seats.
Safety is for car seats and for babies.
If you're gonna be a baby, just turn off now. Just turn off now.
All right. Let us begin with our first topic discussion. So, a little bit about why we decided to do this project in the first place. I came across a post on Instagram, and it was about what disappointed you about the LGBT community when you first came into it. And I had read a bunch of comments of like people that were saying stuff about it, and it broke my heart, honestly, because it was true. Because a lot of the shit was really sad. So I sent it to all of my friends, and I was just like, bruh, you gotta read this, you gotta see this, let me know what you think. And I sent it to this heifer, and she was like, oh.
It was walls of messages.
It was just walls. And we were just like, we should do a thing.
And the thing is being done.
Oh my God, right? And it goes to show you, if you want something, and
you gotta do it yourself. You gotta do it yourself. That's it.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna start off by reading a couple of comments that really kind of got to me, because this is the reason why we're doing this. Okay, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to read one, then I read one, or do you just want me to read them all?
We can switch off.
Okay. All right, I'll go first because you know.
No show.
All right. Oh, also, I stole these off the internet, so if you're watching this and you said this, I'm sorry to put all your information on blast, but you put it on the internet. So, anyway, someone said, many of us don't know how to make friends or treat them with respect.
Someone else mentioned how over-sexualized it is. Besides the funny memes, Grindr is toxic garbage.
Oh, I can't wait to weigh into that piece. I got walls for that piece right there. Anyway, someone else said, the most disappointing things to me about the gay community is biphobia.
Another person mentioned, if you are not a hairless twink or a hunk, you're useless to the rest of the community, it seems.
Ow. Someone else said, you finally find acceptance for your sexuality, only to find more judgment from the community regarding race, body, style, etc.
And then someone lastly mentioned pretty much the most resounding portion, and that it just says it's like that it's not actually a community.
And I think that's really true. So...
But what did you find most disappointing when you...
What I found to be really disappointing is the fact that it's like it's hoe culture or hookup culture, if that's what they want to call it. I feel like because gays are viewed as so over-sexualized that everybody just thinks that you want to sleep with somebody. And some people actually care about other people's emotions and want to get to know people. And I just think it's disappointing, because if you don't fit into that kind of mindset, that kind of mindset, overlooked, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. And that it's disappointing because it has the ability to make you feel really alone.
That is true.
And what about you?
It's like I come from already just a mix of like super religious, super traditional backgrounds, and then to kind of break out of that and like finally identify myself as queer, and like that was already hard enough because you face the backlash from family, but then in the community itself, it's mentioned biphobia. It's like that is the umbrella term I use for my own personal sexuality, and like people just hate. That's the word. That's really the only word. Like they just venomously hate bisexuals because like they consider them passing. They consider them like just not true. You got to pick a side. Yeah. And then to be of color on top of that. It's like it's already like you the last Cocoa Puff in the bowl of milk. Like, that's how you feel sometimes. Like being so black sad. In the LGBT community. The only Cocoa Puff in a box of kicks. Like that's how you feel.
That's powerful.
It's powerful, it's funny, and it's sad.
But if you can't laugh at your pain,
you gonna cry, and I ain't here to cry. So
honestly, same energy. Like it's sad, and we're gonna get into biphobia and transphobia as well because, right? But let me not get ahead of myself.
No jumping. We got a list.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Topic. Dope.
Oh, he speak French, by the way.
Actually, I said that wrong. It would actually be de.
Either way, it wasn't in English.
Number 2, Grindr and other dating apps and how it's toxic for your mental health. For your mental health. Health. Mental. Problem. Listen up, sheeple. Sheeple. No, hold on. Hold on. And I did some whole ass research on this one. Because let me start off by saying, me personally, I have run into this issue myself. Now,
I'm gonna have to let you talk about this one because I don't use dating apps.
Lucky. Lucky you. You have dodged the biggest bullet of your entire life.
No, I saw the phrase no fats, no femmes, no Asians. I'm like, well, I may not be Asian, but the first two, like, I ain't gonna risk that last strike. I'm sorry.
It's sad because it's true.
I was just like, all right, I ain't gonna do stuff like that.
Oh, God. Okay. So I did a little research on this particular topic because I've currently been dealing with this myself, trying to figure out how to navigate the feelings that I've been having of kind of like loneliness and depression. And while working on Queerology, this project, I came across some shit and I said, ain't this about a bitch? So, Jack Turbin, a gay psychiatric and medical writer from Harvard Medical School, Harvard, that's how you know he the shit, wrote a very thought-provoking article on Vox.com called, "We Need to Talk About How Grindr is Affecting Gay Men's Mental Health." Mental health. Now, I don't know if... I don't really know if anybody else... No, that's some bullshit. I know. You don't got to lie, Craig. We know you hurting. We know you hurting, and I'm about to tell you why. I'm trying to be serious, but at the same time...
I told you
this. Like, I'm serious, but do not think because I'm smiling or I'm laughing that I am not completely serious, because this is a whole ass issue. Okay. I pulled a couple of quotes from this article that resonated with me. Oh, Lord. Jack says, Since there is little published research on men on Grindr, I decided to conduct an informal survey and ask men why they are on the app so much as on the app so much and how it affects their relationships and mental health. I created a profile identifying myself as a medical writer looking to talk to men about their experiences, and I received 50 responses. Okay. So you say you don't really know anything about, like...
I know there are different apps for men, like Grindr. Ooh, we got the breeze coming through.
Oh, yes,
there
it's finally
is
windy.
one for women seeking women. Let me try and find it.
See, you're lucky.
Yeah, they've got Bumble or Zoe. Zoe is, I'm looking at App Store. Zoe is a lesbian dating app. Zoe or Zoe, it depends on how people want to pronounce that. There is an app called Spicy, lesbian chat and dating. Spicy. One is Girls, spelled Gurlz.
Ow.
Take that as you will. Wapa. I think that one might be Spanish. It just says Wapa Limited. I don't know. I think that one might be Spanish.
I think my soul just dropped.
It's like soul evacuated. There's one called Only Women. So it's like, even if you're a woman seeking women, we call them, I pronounce it as woo-la-woo. Women who love women, men who love men, we pronounce that mlem. Mlem and woo-la-woo solidarity here, people. But yeah, like, women, no doubt,
in tears.
have the same thing. And I guess for those of them, Tinder also pops up still, because Tinder does give you the option.
Oh, Lord.
I've not used any of these because I don't have the time and I don't like talking to strangers. I don't like talking to strangers about intimate things.
I do not have the time.
But no, I don't know much about dating apps. I don't know much about dating either, but that also comes up later in the
I mean, how can we know about dating?
We don't. That's the fun part.
Anyway, I guess I will head stream this particular part then. Jack continued to say that neuroscience have shown that orgasms Neuroscience have shown that orgasms cause activation of pleasure areas of the brain, and this is true. Like,
you want me to read?
Yeah, because I was about to say that all kind of wrong.
Neuroscientists have shown that orgasm causes activation of the pleasure areas of the brain, like the ventral tegmental area, while deactivating areas involved with self-control. And these patterns of activation in men are strikingly similar to what researchers see in the brain of individuals using heroin or cocaine. So when a neutral action, clicking on Grindr, is paired with a pleasurable response to the brain, an orgasm, humans learn to do that action over and over again. That's like that rat study.
Exactly. Wait, which rat study? Because I actually saw a couple of rat studies, actually.
The one where it's like they had the food, like they hooked up some type of thing to the rats, but it's like they had food, or they could press a button, and the button that they pressed had that reaction. Similar to an orgasm. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the study, most of the rats were choosing to push the button instead of eat the food.
Oh, that is... No, I have not seen that.
I have to find that one, and it will be tagged, cited. But it is a study that was done, and like...
That's actually kind of terrifying.
It is, and it's... There's also one with monkeys, how it's like... Well, that one's slightly different, because it's not pleasure, it's more of like pain-based. That's something else entirely.
No, but still talk about it.
It's like, because in the scientific world, primates are the closest relative to the humans. They did a study where they put a bushel of fruits at the top of an enclosure, and they placed a ladder underneath it where the monkeys could get to it. I've forgotten which type it was, but every time a monkey climbed the ladder to get a fruit, one of the others in the community were beaten. Not like severely, but like they would just get hit. And by the end of it, it's like the community as a whole completely avoided the ladder and the fruit to avoid, and it's like kind of the opposite reaction, like they're choosing each other over the pleasure. And it's like, I don't know how it would fit in. That was just a random thought, but
no, but that's actually really interesting though. Moving on to more information on this. Jack also stated, for some users I talked to, the allure of Grindr was not the rush to feel good. No, it was not just the rush to feel good. It was the to stop feeling bad. Users told me that they logged on when they feel sad, anxious, or lonely. Grindr can make those feelings go away. The attention and potential for sex distracts from painful emotions. So if you're a person that has an issue with being alone, this is something that gives you instant gratification. Oh, somebody messages you, it's like you message somebody that looks cute, and you're just like, oh, I'm talking to this person. Woohoo! I don't have to be alone for those few moments of time. Once you do that over and over and over again, you can easily become addicted to the situation, like to that feeling. And that's why I've noticed a lot, and people joke about this through memes and stuff all the time, but like, oh, you delete Grindr and then you like download it back like a couple weeks later, but you're becoming codependent on it. They need your money, you need the attention. And it's really bad for like us as a community, because I know that a lot of gays and queer people come from many different walks of life. Not everybody's story is exactly the same. Mm-mm. So I'm not trying to like generalize, but what I will say, there is a lot of, what's the word? Emotion? Or let me think. Like there's a lot of shit, what do you call that? Like it's a lot of God, I can't think of the word.
Give me a word that's similar.
Kind of like shit.
Well, no, I'm just kidding. But it's like we come, like, to me, it seems like it's the feeling of we've had to hide ourselves for the most part. So now that we're in an area where it's like, oh God, like just about everybody is like me, I can be like who I want to be. Like it's that need for attention. I was gonna say attention whore, but it's like we're all a little bit of an attention
whore. I mean,
because
that's another thing. Just because you like attention doesn't make you an attention whore.
It doesn't. No.
But when you suck it up like a goddamn vacuum cleaner, that's a problem.
Then it's a problem.
That's a problem.
But yeah, no, I think it's like you are first and foremost not really being, at least from what I see from those that are monosexual versus those that are polysexual. Polysexual includes people who are bisexual, pansexual. If more than one gender is what you are attracted to, gender, lack thereof, while monosexual is just the general gay or lesbian. And with at least monosexual, what I've come to see is that you're not being blocked on the basis of your sexuality by these parties, because 90% of the time they're into the same thing.
Yes.
Because it's like, I've had situations go south when they're like, oh, you're bi? And then they do like the fuck kid thing where they're like, you want it? No, I don't. Just in general, no, I don't. So it's like, it's that where it's almost like a comfort, you know, that if this doesn't work out, it's not because you're gay.
Exactly.
Probably you're an asshole, but just in case, like it's not because you're gay. And it's, I think that comfort that some people look for, it's the acceptance of being gay and being sexual, but it's taking a detrimental turn.
Because like I've spoken to people on Grindr, and a lot of them, they'll just be like, they'll want to talk about stuff. Like it's not all toxic crazy people. Mm-hmm. there's a lot of toxic, crazy people. Like, it's a problem. It's a whole ass problem.
But there are people who are just lonely and they just want somebody to talk to.
And low key, that's me. I'm gonna put all my business out on the street. I have suffered my entire life feeling very alone, and because of that, hold up.
Rewind.
Yeah, rewind a little bit. That feeling of loneliness comes from like the desire to be accepted, I guess.
Accepted by the community.
Exactly, but not even just by the community. Accepted in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how confident gays put on that facade of being like, we are so powerful and all. Yeah, deep inside each and every one of us, there is a scared child that is trying really hard to keep it together.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Because trust me, that's why it's like I'm laughing all the time. Because if I'm not laughing, I can guarantee you, anxiety and depression are a bitch.
Lord.
When they want to team up and beat my ass.
We should have put that in the goddamn list.
That's probably gonna come up later.
You know what? Because like it's true.
Like we're all just sad children inside,
trying to
and it's not like
it out.
A problem. Like, and I think everybody, gay or straight, like you are a sad child inside, trying to make your way through adulthood as best you can.
Ooh, especially in this
few
economy.
Mental breakdowns. Like,
I'm sorry, if you are not currently having a mental breakdown in your life,
you're not living a proper life.
Like, do you have rich parents?
Probably. Are they looking to adopt this hungry child from Africa?
Spare some free money. Free money, please.
As a formerly starving child from Africa. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. Okay. More quotes. A recent survey of 200,000 iPhone users by Time Well Spent, a nonprofit focused on the digital attention crisis, showed that 77% of Grindr users felt regret after using the app.
That's me after checking my bank account. It's like I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that.
You're like 52 cents.
It'd be like that sometimes. But no, it's like they're making a good point. It's just,
out of 200,000 people,
77%. I can't do math. I'm not perpetuating the stereotype that gays can't do math, but I am in fact a gay that can't do math. So.
I am also a gay that can't do math.
Okay.
I also can't drive.
Neither can I. Oh my god. How do we get anything done around here? 200,000.
And 77%, that's more than half of that number. That's a lot. It might as well just be fucking 100. Like, let's just be honest. It might as well just be 100.
I don't know if I did this right. I hope I did.
So that's 154,000 of that group of population. Don't know if those are right. You can check that if you want to.
Check the math. I did 200,000 times 0.77. If you know how to do the mathematics, let us know. But as for what I got through my calculator, it's 154,000 people felt regret. Look, it'd be like that.
It really do. Regret is a part of life. Anyway, moving on. The user I interviewed told me that when they closed their phones and reflected on the shallow conversations and sexually explicit photos that were sent, they felt more depressed, more anxious, and even more isolated. Point. Just let that sit in for a minute. Some experience overwhelming guilt following a sexual encounter in which no words were spoken after the orgasm. The partner just walked out the door with nothing little more than a thanks. And then they kept coming back yet they keep coming back for that temporary emotional relief. So, if there is something, if you are hurting on the inside, I think I'm a firm believer in therapy and psychiatric help, because I know some people get afraid of that kind of stuff, because I feel like nobody wants to believe that there's anything wrong with them.
I feel like a lot of this, like especially that quote in particular, it's based off of stigmas. You feel regret because you've been told to feel bad about whatever it is that you're doing. There's nothing wrong with looking for like sexual pleasure in another person. There's actually nothing wrong with hooking up. It's a lot of just the guilt that's been placed. A lot of us come from like especially Christian households.
Very true.
Where like any type of sex is really looked down upon, especially sex before marriage, sex outside of marriage. And like to go with what you're saying, it's like that stigma of going to a therapist. You don't want to do it. It's like, granted, I've had terrible experiences with therapists, but
Me too.
It's like some people are able to push through and find good ones, and that helps with things like that. And I think we're coming into a day and age where people are becoming more and more sexually aware of themselves and sexually comfortable with their own bodies, at least from the female perspective or female identifying perspective. That's what I see. It's like a lot more of us are like, why can't I show my boobs on TV?
Yeah.
And it's not to like pander to anybody else, but it's like, why are, I'm gonna have to roast you, I'm sorry, but why are my boobs inappropriate but his aren't? Like,
and you know, it's funny that you say that, but I personally believe like that guys should not be running around with their shirts on.
They shouldn't actually.
Like
because, high school, that used to piss me off so much. Like, why could you guys not keep your shirts on for more than 20 minutes?
I personally do not stand by that. Like,
put your shirt back on, please.
Exactly.
We get it. Okay.
Petition, guys.
You do steroids. We get it.
Oh.
No, just kidding. I don't know if any of them actually did steroids. I
you
wouldn't be surprised, but it's like it's like it's like this like starts to fall into intersectionality and everything, but it's like these have been conditioned to be seen as like women's breasts have been conditioned to be seen as sexual organs when in fact they are not. They are excess fat that forms on our chest and at one point or another will carry milk to help support young that are produced.
Exactly.
That's it. Ain't nothing sexy about it. They fun when they bounce, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry, but it's like there's their scientific reason, and then they fun. But like, I get it. But no, like,
I never really understood that, and that might be because I just like dick, but I've never understood the appeal of breastises.
What? There's like this Tumblr quote where it's like, life cold and hard, but titties soft and warm. And for me, that sums it up. That's titties soft and warm.
Oh my god, it's hot. I can't.
It's just you.
I know. You know me. Hyperperspiration. I might as well just drown. Okay. One last quote for this particular topic. Actually, you take this one.
So this one, the final quote was, gay culture is often status-focused, competitive, hierarchical.
Like
there's a hierarchy, and exclusionary. Don't we know? He explains that these traits are common among men generally, but in the gay community, they become amplified in a group that both socializes and sexualizes together. What's your body count? Please don't answer that. Nobody answer that. Answer in the comments or somewhere else, but I don't want to hear anything out of nobody right now.
I know.
But no, like, it makes sense. It's like, we'll look at the ones that are popular. It's competitive. It's just like, what is it? There was like a show at one point that had like a gay off, and it's like, what? How do you have energy for that, first of all? Like, who can out-gay the other person? And it's like...
Is that even a thing? How do you do that?
I've seen gay offs. And that's actually a name, too. Yeah, there's like
Our cameraman is sashaying.
voguing.
Oh, excuse me. Terminology. As you can see.
It's like that's the competition side. No, just kidding. But no, it's like they're competitions with each other. It's like, oh, I have this many followers. I have that many followers. I have more followers than you. And
I feel like it all comes down to the attention thing.
yeah, it's like, and it's like, what is that one thing?
God, are we that lonely?
Probably. But it's like I was doing something.
Probably.
And I was looking up like gay icons. Like everybody wants to be a gay icon for some reason. I'm like, can you chill? Half of y'all ain't even that special.
Half of y'all ain't even gay.
Like
let's just spill out all the tea.
Like,
half of these people that want to be gay icons ain't
we were
even gay.
doing the college I go to, we put up a library display for Pride. If you know what that is, go take a look. I'm not telling anybody that. Not telling anybody where it is. But what is it? It's like I was looking for gay icons. Why was Justin Timberlake in there?
Excuse me?
I don't know. It's like I get Lady Gaga like that. You can't mess with Gaga like.
Hold on, Jesus.
You know what? Yeah, I saw it and I was confused too. I think like Judy Garland, of course, popped up. But that's like old gay history.
The last time I checked, I was personally
boy.
Am I wrong? Did I miss something?
No, it's like it's this weird title thing that people want to be called gay icons. Like I didn't recognize half the other people on the list. But I was just like, what is he doing here? But it's that status. You want to be that gay icon. Right now we're having that. I don't know if it's still an issue. I'm not always up to date, but James Charles type deal. I don't know everything that happened because I personally don't care.
I know. Okay. First of all, we ain't even gonna get into that. That's a whole different discussion of stupid.
I still don't know because apparently, like, people got screenshots, and the screenshots don't make sense with the stories. And I'm just like, and like now everybody's blowing everything over. But then they got Jeffree Star involved, and I'm like, I think he said the N-word once or twice, but I don't know for sure.
I don't fuck with any of that.
He does blackface sometimes, not on himself, but on his models, which I also just.
That is inappropriate as hell.
I don't know the lady who started it all, though. She pretty, though, but I don't know who she is.
She pretty, though. Who that?
Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. She's pretty good.
I like Barbara Streisand. I mean, like, I don't, but I do. It's a love-hate. It's a love-hate relationship between Barbara.
Bette Midler.
But honestly, I blame South Park for that.
I can't even see who that
Look
is.
that up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up South Park, Barbara Streisand.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to say her name too close to the microphone, just because it's like I respect her as an artist and as a person. Yes. But I just am not sure. Who's that? Beyonce. What is the gays' obsession with Beyonce?
And Ariana. I like. Ariana. Okay, hold up. Before y'all come for me, I like Ariana as much as the next person, and
I do like Beyonce.
But y'all act like they're gay icons.
Like, you can go into a room and to find out who the gay ones are, just yell Beyonce and see who turns around. Like,
no, low key, all you have to say is, I've been drinking, wanna.
No, I'm sorry.
Everybody. Oh my God, Beyonce! Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Madonna is pretty pro-gay though.
Okay, Madonna technically has been a legitimate gay icon for years.
Yes, sometimes I forget she's around and alive.
I honestly,
you gotta love Cher.
Okay. Cher, note to self: remind me to edit that clip in about men that she made.
Men are desserts.
Yes, that was the best thing anybody has ever said. I said, "Oh, girl, you right." Oh my God.
I heard one is like, husband should be like Kleenex, soft, strong, and disposable. She's like, ah! If I become a femme fatale, that's going to be my catchphrase.
As you can see, we were both very psychotic.
We're both psychotic, yeah. My bad.
Oh God. Shall we move on to the next subject?
We should close out the subject. So this one was about like the mental health that's related to dating apps.
Completely off topic.
Dating apps and things like that. And it's just, it gives us that gratification, that attention, and that acceptance that we kind of wanted as those little closeted gay kids that we are now stressing ourselves to try and find in this wonderful day and age. And it's just in the technology age, it's really hard to kind of put the phone down, take a break.
Oh God.
Put the phone down. Put the dick away. You'll be fine.
Put your phone down. Put your dick away.
You'll be fine for the weekend. Just stay home.
And
do your homework.
And another thing about that, this particular issue kind of makes it really hard for people that are actually interested in forming relationships to find that. Because a lot of people, and I'm not judging everybody on Grindr, I'm not judging anybody on dating apps in like as a whole, but a lot of people just want that sex, quick sex, this, back and forth. And I get it. We're young and we're in our sexual prime. I am all for sexual liberation. I was off. Why did you?
It shut it off.
How long has it been off?
5 minutes maybe. So about right when icons started coming out. Shut up. It's the Illuminati.
They don't want us to know.
Listen, mind your business.
Did you turn it back on?
It overheated.
Oh no.
So we gotta let it cool down. Technical difficulties. That's hilarious.
I mean,
We can
technically,
keep going.
I was gonna say we still recording technically. So
I feel like you can
Should we-
have like
should-
clips.
Pace.
Yeah, just cut and paste.
oh god, but what do we do about the parts that are not like visual?
Like the only thing y'all catching really is like me making faces. Like
honestly, same.
But I was just gonna be like, catch the actual full
podcast.
on so-and-so site. That's just a little something.
It's like, you know what we look like. You know the type of foolishness you can expect. It's
Oh
the
my
sound
God.
bite.
Sound bite. Bite yourself.
That's exactly what it is.
Positivity. Turn that shit
20
around.
minutes down there.
Hell yeah.
Maybe 30.
Who
Last
knows?
time I checked, it was at 25. So.
You know.
Have you seen this video of like a little pig? He like runs into the room and they play that audio because he like stops and it's just like, yeah,
The pig,
and then the pig like just turns and starts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's like it's based on just humans are physical creatures,
Yes.
regardless of your sexuality expression. We
'Cause this-
long for that companionship, even if you're ace or arrow. Like it's still nice to have like it doesn't have to be companionship from like a human. It could be a plant. Okay.
Oh, really though.
But it's like you still kind of want to have something to call your friend.
Oh.
And like that's where I think the dating apps have gone wrong. Like they capitalize on that need to feel like
You have something.
you have something there.
But the truth is, you really don't.
You got a bunch of zeros and a ones. Computer.
Yeah. Yes. That is you
That's the
summed up.
best way to
Yeah,
sum up
like-
that. Just, your mental health is important, so take your breaks from those apps. It's like there's nothing wrong with deleting it and downloading it back. Like I've done that with different apps, not dating apps, but just different apps where it's like they were taking up my time,
Yeah.
taking up space on my phone. Delete them, come back to them. It's creepy. They save your information, but it's all still there when you want to come back. So I guess take it as it comes, maybe.
And something else that I think would be helpful in that regard is know
Yourself.
know yourself. If you are doing these things, be able to be like, okay, I admit I might have an issue. Because I didn't put this in the notes, but also on that article that I had read, it was talking about like this had a very strong premise for people developing addictions. And then I was thinking about it, and then they also mentioned like
It said it equates it to the rush of heroin or cocaine,
exactly,
so-
and I was like, oh no,
yeah.
like and
It's like people who it's like it sounds scary because it's like Grindr, but it's like people have it. people are addicted to Facebook. They're addicted to Twitter.
Oh,
they're addicted
Jesus.
to Instagram. We're addicted to our phones as a society. It's like there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's just, it's, to
I'm trying
me,
to cut
it
back.
is, yeah, like, to me, it is just something that it's much more dangerous because this is now, for the most part, something you're putting in your body. Like, as an extension, it's something you're putting in your body. So it's much more imminently harmful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess that covers our, pretty much like our first and second topic.
First and
really.
second topic.
It's just what we've found disappointing. But I guess to counter out the disappointing, we should also talk about what we found as positive in the queer community.
I haven't found anything positive.
Well, he hasn't found anything positive. But it's like being in such a strange subset. I don't want to call it a subcompartment of the LGBT community, but finding other queer people of color to connect with. I went to a queer prom recently, which was really cool, and I was terrified of being the only black person there. But there was another black person there, and I was so happy. And it's like we exchanged information, and he will be tagged. But it's like you get... I've been able to build friendships. I've been able to build friendships not based solely on our sexualities, but we come together and we hang out, and you know that at the very least, just like with the dating apps, it's like you show up to events and parties, and you're just like, no one here is going to hate me because I'm gay. They're not going to hate me because I'm like black. They're not going to hate me because I'm trans or anything else like that. And I think because we're able to push that out of our minds and be more genuine with each other, like the friendships I've made in the queer community are actually really awesome. So I mean, hopefully,
well, I mean, I'm not gonna say
curmudgeon. Yes.
Well, okay, like take you for example. Like me and you are really good friends. Like we basically have the same mind.
The problem is people think we're twins.
We are not related.
We're not. But it's like there'll be stuff that I think that he says, and then like
Lord.
we reverse that. And that's
But
a
like
problem.
I've made a couple of really good queer friends, and a couple not good queer friends.
There's always a couple.
But like I was about to say, that's just like with anything. Like in life, you meet really good people, and sometimes you meet people that ain't shit.
You meet people who you want to key their car, and then you meet people who will help you key the car. So, like, choose your friends wisely.
Oh my god! Honestly, same energy.
But it's like it all kind of like just like the community. It has multiple parts. They come together. They have their good parts. They have their bad parts, and I guess that's for that. Like for the community itself, for dating apps. Because you can use dating apps to get friends, guys. They're weird friends.
They're really weird. Don't do that.
It's probably not for the best, but...
Like, I've tried. It's weird. Don't do it. Like, I don't even know what this is. I just don't. Just stop.
But yeah, no. I've met all of my friends in real life.
Oh, lucky.
That's just because it's like doing gay club stuff.
Oh, Jesus. I've been to a gay club.
I don't go to gay clubs. I mean, it's just like
school
organizations. Like,
Oh.
I run the school organization on it, so I end up at events.
Oh,
and I'm
gay
just
club. Like a gay club at
LGBT
a school.
club, like GSA or stuff like that. It's like I run the portion for our college, or I assist in running the portion for our college, and it's like I end up at events where I meet really cool people. And it's like if you're in the Hayward area, I think annually Hayward, the community college in Hayward has a queer conference. And it's like, it was one of those things. It's like you walk into a room full of people who identify with you.
But you know, and I'm speaking from my own like opinion on that, I'd still be scared.
Oh, it's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't think I was the darkest person there, but I was definitely like a contender. But it's like, it's weird. It's a weird feeling.
There is a lot of hate on African Americans and Latinos, and basically
that's for a different topic.
But that is for a different. Yeah, I was gonna say.
We'll get to that though.
Like on the truth, we get to that, but
I guess that would be like number 3.
Conform or die.
Conform or die. Yes.
All right. We should
So tune in next time. Queerology.
I got this. Zeal. So tune in next time. Ew, no.
No.
Gross. Anywho, we will join you next week on Queerology.
So signing off, Mickey.
And the Black Winds. Let's get this game.
Get this bread.
Let's get this
Soggy
bread.
bread. Have I explained soggy bread to you? Soggy. Okay, so you can't just end it there. So soggy bread. This comes from a cosplayer that I follow online, and he was doing a live stream, and he was just like, "I gotta go get this soggy bread." And he's like, "For those of you that don't know, soggy bread is when you go to work to make money, but you're crying the whole time, so your bread is soggy."
Good night, everybody. I can't. No, your bread is bye.